Welcome to another episode of This Was a Star Wars Podcast. I'm Michael.
I'm Nikki.
And I'm Mickett.
I promise that wasn't an earthquake. He's just adjusting his camera, ladies and gentlemen. But today, as you can tell by my beautiful green glow, we're going to be talking about The Matrix. So I got an hour through Resurrections and had to turn it off. And then I also went back and rewatched all the other three just because I was like, I should watch it just to talk about it. They don't hold up. I thought they would. I tried really hard. I really liked them as a kid. And then I was like, this is kind of bad. So have either of you seen the new one? And what are your feelings on the series?
Yeah. I was actually really excited for the new one to come out. And then when I watched it, I kind of realized I would rather have gasoline thrown on me and someone throw a lit match in my face from that. I almost felt the movie was an insult, not only to the franchise, but just to me as a human for taking the time to watch it. And this is the garbage in which you give me. If I can give it a rating, I would call it a kick in the dick. So many times I wonder, like, how can these actors do this, and come back to this movie? And that's probably why Lawrence Fishburne didn't want to be a part of it, because he read it. But then again, I'm sure it was a nice paycheck. So enjoy Rent, guys.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It was almost sad. Yeah, in a really weird way. It was like watching a really good band, a really big band put out a playthrough music video. It was just simple.
I think what made me most upset was that they essentially tried to reboot it, but make it like Neo made a video game, guys. Like, they tried to pander to nerds and they did it wrong. Like, it literally was like, you turned The Matrix into a video game. Like, that's probably what they should have done instead, was make it a fucking video game and not some I'm literally mad about a movie I didn't finish.
You know what's funny? Going back to what Mick had said, it's like watching a band. It's like Matrix is like Motley Crue from like 1982, and this Resurrections is like Vince Neil now. All kind of like an abstract blobbish, where like he's not even singing words. He's just like.
Yeah, it's like Vince Neil in Vegas, exactly.
And then if Michael, going to your point, if they made it a game, would it be made by EA?
No, actually, probably made by Rocksteady, because it's a Warner Brothers title. Also, they also tried way too hard to be fucking meta. Like, when they sit down, the scene that sticks out to me, where I literally was like, "You're trying too hard," is when it's Keanu Reeves and Jonathan Groff sitting in a room together, and they're talking about it. He's like, our parent company, and then he looks directly in the camera and goes, Warner Brothers wants us to make a sequel. Like, was that like Lana Wachowski's shot at Warner Brothers, who made the movie? Like, you're making me do this, so I'm gonna make it shit.
Okay,
and they did make it shit.
Something I question is, like, how like everybody's obsessed with like, oh, we could be living in the Matrix kind of thing right now. Like, did that idea exist before the Matrix?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, is that, I hate to say it, but like, is that where we get our ideas for reality? Is just based on movies? Like, someone came up with it and we're like, oh yeah, that could be, that's the thing.
Well, in a sense, yeah. But that was just such like a what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of question. And it kind of like blew my mind.
Yeah, because I like so many people I know are like, oh, we live in the Matrix. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure the Matrix was, where you got the idea from the Matrix from. Like, unless they got it from somewhere else, which I guess is possible, but.
So an article from Business Insider from 2019, 20 years after The Matrix hits theaters, another sequel in the works, many scientists and philosophers still think we're living in a simulation. So I would assume that it started with the movie.
But
Okay.
absolutely.
I don't know.
I know
Like,
my friends weren't that smart at the time until after they saw that movie. And then I started hearing that.
I mean, to be honest, I'm still not that smart. So
Yeah.
I
mean, because like honestly, like in something similar to that, ever since Infinity War, I can snap my fucking fingers at people. Never snapped at them before. I mean, I've snapped on people, but
you don't. Did you not get the? You should have got the Infinity Gauntlet tattooed on your hand and then snapped everybody.
I should have. Stupid rock and roll tattoos.
So I want to go back though, back to the beginning, back to 1999, and I will admit, I love the first one, and I still love it nostalgically. It's one of those things that like I wish I hadn't gone back and watched more recently, just to kind of remember the good times. But I feel like that movie as a whole, the original Matrix, really influenced an entire generation of people. It defined industrial goth clothing. It kind of gave nerd culture a different vibe. It made it a little bit darker, if you think about it. How much of an impact do you think even like the soundtrack changed the genre of fans? It introduced me to electronic music, really. But how do you think that film kind of impacted what we know now, 22, 23 years later?
That movie definitely like blew minds, you know, back in that day. I remember being in that theater and just being like, oh my God, this is something I've been wanting to see. Like, you know, it was like, you know, it brought like your conspiracy theories, kind of like, you know, a little bit more mainstream. Anybody who ever questioned authority, like this was like the movie for you to kind of like start you on your path. And especially, yeah, stuff like that, like with clothing and, you know, cyber goth and all that and the music. I think it was way ahead of its time. I love the first one. I think it still stands up to today.
Yeah, the first one was really great, and like I like the other ones for the sake of how far it brings the story. But I think especially like technology wise, if for some reason, and I'm not sure how much it would do better, but if for some reason this movie had been an original today, like some things would have turned out better, you know, like the whole ghost guys, the ghost twins, like that could have been better, you know. At the time they were just, you know, it was the 90s, we didn't have good you know, effects just yet, and but even, you know, even some of the stuff that, you know, was kind of silly in that movie, like for the time you're like, all right, this is cool. Like we didn't need what is his name, the something Phrygian or what?
The Merovingian.
Merovingian, that's his name. Like we didn't need him in the new movie. I don't know what the point of that was. Like that was just like, I feel like they were just calling back to the originals, just being like, oh, look who we got in it. Look who we got in it. This guy's also in it, you know. But we also didn't get two of the most important characters in it.
Well, I think that's the biggest part is like they tried to make it a nostalgic film. That's the huge issue with Resurrections. They didn't try to do anything original, is what it feels like. They didn't. The only thing they tried to do was adjust how it was represented. It wasn't anything else. Like it literally was, we're going to retell the first movie in essence. At least this is what I take away from seeing the first hour. So if I'm wrong, Mick, please correct me. But it felt like they were just like taking sections of the original film and trying to paste together and retell the same fucking story in a different way.
Which isn't a resurrection. It's a damn abomination. That's a fucking Frankenstein right there. I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
Did you guys ever watch what is it called? House Dead? I think it was. It was based off the video game, not House of a Thousand Corpses.
No, I haven't seen House of the Dead.
I'm pretty sure. It's a sci-fi original, if that helps explain anything.
Oh my God. So it's amazing and terrible at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
So this reminds
I have seen this. Oh my God. It's terrible.
this is like
it is. I love the game. Sorry.
I would say Resurrection was like a more produced version of that, where like literally House of the Dead, they were just like, all these zombie-ish kind of things, and then literally just cut out a piece of that shitty arcade game and put it in the movie. Like, I don't understand who let that happen, but and this obviously, like I said, is a better version of that, just because we had, you know, 3 pretty great movies from the 90s. But like every time I turned around, it was just like, would you like to watch a scene from the old movie? Perfect.
So
and not even
found,
as good recreation of that scene too.
Right. So I found House of the Dead on IMDb, and I want to play a game with you guys. We're gonna play a game real quick. What is the IMDb rating for the 2003 Uwe Boll film House of the Dead?
I'm gonna guess a 2 point.
Can we go lower than 0? Will they allow that?
They will not. Nikki Misery is correct. It is 2.1 out of 10.
You know,
Dang! For some reason, even on the most garbage trash, they give like 1 or 2 points. Maybe because there's life in it, you know. Somewhere there's a heartbeat and someone did something to give them that 1 or 2 points.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Uwe Boll is the director who also did the Blood Rain movies, the Alone in the Dark movie. He made the Postal movie, the Far Cry movie, the 2009 version of Rampage, which was about, I think it's about a killing spree. Yeah. And essentially is known as arguably one of the worst directors in the history of film.
Why do they keep giving that guy jobs?
He just made another movie this year. Deutschland ein Winter.
You know, it's like what I've learned about life is that like if something is, it's like we're all here like in the middle in the existence, and like there are really, really good things and really, really bad things. But see, like when you hit really, really bad here on the bottom, if you keep going, somehow this is actually a circle and you end up back on top again. So it's so bad that it's good. And that's why people keep giving him money.
That's what Elton John's talking about with the circle of life.
Yep. There are 26 10-star reviews out of 604 for that movie.
Those people are trolls.
There are 292 1-star reviews. So that tells you the ratio. But back to the topic at hand. The other thing that about the original 3 that I always really liked was that they just had the right, like they came at the right time in terms of like worldview of technology. And if you think about it, it kind of potentially revolutionized the way that we looked at technology. This was pre-iPhone. This was pre-cell phone explosion. I think I got my first cell phone in 2003 when the other 2 came out. But like what?
They were still using landlines in the movie to get out of the Matrix.
Right. Yeah. How many kids today know what a phone booth is? Like,
right.
You know, it had that interesting vibe to it. But I think one of the big things that I really loved about it, and it was really funny, is I got an excuse to watch it in high school in 2004, 2005, because they said it was the Christ story of Jesus Christ, and it had religious implications. What I always found interesting is at the end of it, Jesus dies and so does the demon that's chasing him. But then they make Resurrection, and it's like they're working together to lock down the Matrix in a video game.
Yeah, well, if that's what it is, I'm like, Jesus, don't come back.
Yeah, no.
Don't resurrect, buddy. Just go on. We'll deal with it.
Though, hear me out.
Okay.
I might read a version of the Bible that they replaced Jesus with Neo.
The Neo Testament.
Yeah. What I wonder. And he can fly and he could stop bullets. Like, this might be an interesting book.
He is the one. The other thing too is I think honestly the guy they got to play Morpheus was just making fun of Larry Fishburne the entire time.
I like that guy, an actor too.
Just
it's really weird to see that.
Yeah, what else has he been? Because I don't think I've seen him in anything.
He was on this show called The Get Down on Netflix, which is like this 70s based show, and he was like this the son of like this big coke dealer. It was an amazing show. Like, it was produced by Nas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's so good. So I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
He is also, have you seen the new Candyman?
Oh yeah.
He's the main character in the new Candyman. He's also Black Manta in Aquaman.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
He was also Calabar in Watchmen.
Yes. In the series, the HBO series.
On the HBO series.
I haven't watched either.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry, I should have been more specific. My bad. I apologize.
TikTok.
Yeah. You said Calabar, and I thought you meant Calabar from Halloween Town. So you clear up what we're talking about.
I haven't thought about Halloween Town since our Halloween episode.
I've been getting asked about Halloween Town a lot. Like, have you seen Halloween Town? It's weird how much that's coming up lately.
Does that mean we're going to be seeing a Halloween Town reunion or something?
Do we do a show on Halloween Town?
Yeah.
Hear me out. Halloween Town Resurrections. Even though Halloween Town is not one of the greatest movies, but
Yeah.
Hey, neither is Matrix Resurrections, huh?
Oh. What I think is also interesting is in the timing of the Matrix, it was a lot of wire work in the original one, and then the second one they kind of went a little too far into CGI. Like the Burly Brawl in the when he finds Seraph takes him to find the Oracle in that like New York City style park area, and then he fights all of the Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
And like like where you can clearly tell Neo is CGI'd in that shot. But back then we were like, oh my God, this is so cool. And now we're like,
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was more on the latter. Even then I was like, they could have done something better with this, huh?
There's something about earlier CGI that like everybody's bones are kind of like wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Like when you watch
Spider-Man.
Yeah, hey, what's up? And he's just you go back, especially you watch that scene now, and you're just like, your body doesn't even work that way. What's happening right now? This is weird.
Also, both of the I don't know if the third one does because I think I might have turned it off before it ended. How about the first two films ending with really heavy Rage Against the Machine? Like, do you think that was totally intentional? It's raging against the machines, literally.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't give me that, Mick. Don't give me that face. For those of you listening,
some of these people like pick like the soundtracks and the songs, or to me, it's so cool and insane and shit I would have never thought of.
I'm pretty sure POD had like a single off of the second one.
I wouldn't
like. I was watching this thing yesterday, and it was about like the new Moon Knight trailer, and like one of the songs that they use about it, like the whole song's about split personalities, but it's very like buried underneath, and especially with his character, and just like Rage Against the Machine at the end of the Matrix, like when they do like little things like that, I just think it's I just a little sprinkle of genius.
Yeah. The song was called Sleeping Awake. Can't stop sleeping awake. I can see Sonny in the green lit room, like black walls, green backlit, in the band playing the song, and him like in a black suit with sunglasses on and his dreads back then tied back. Like, I can remember it in my head. I'm excited for Moon Knight, by the way, too. That trailer dropped on Monday, and I think it's gonna be dope.
It looks so good. It's some awesome similarities to the new Batman trailer, which I just loved. Just at the end.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, has the Matrix kind of influenced most of what's going on in this generation now?
Yes. I would say that very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest ways you can point at it is how it's just constantly getting more and more garbage as it goes on.
I think you might be right. You should elaborate a little bit more on that though, Mickey. I'm curious to see where you're going with this.
I was just thinking of like all the things that I've seen in the first 3 Matrix movies, that like were rad at the time, and I was like, oh my god, this is really cool. I mean, granted, like this was a really, really original concept for the time, but like, do you remember for a little while it was like everybody had clothing that was kind of ripped?
Yeah.
And I was thinking like everybody in Zion had clothing that was ripped, and more recently, like tan, the color like on clothes has become kind of popular. Like once again, everybody in Zion wore tannish colored clothes.
Then there was also that stretch where like every cyber goth kid you knew owned a pair of PVC pants.
Yeah.
And platforms that were like this big, or everybody wore steel tip combat boots for a while too.
Yeah, like
crazy.
I think that we're living in the Matrix. We're just trying to live in the Matrix.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like. Yeah. Like if I just go back and just pick an outfit or an idea from the Matrix, like I could be pretty popular right now. It seems like that's just what it's all based on, like holy shit.
Ribbed shirts that are slightly torn or little askew to the left or right.
Yeah.
Now, serious question for you guys. Say you're out at a club. Mickey, I'll say you got dragged out to Bar Sinister one night.
Oh,
Michael, say you got dragged out to Milk.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
So you got dragged out to Milk. You're at Bar Sinister. Whoever you're with, they had to go to the bathroom, and you're kind of waiting by the bathroom. Maybe you got a drink in your hand of sorts, and somebody in PVC, leather, sparkly clothes, sleek, comes up to you, gives you the whole Matrix feel. Are you taking a red pill or are you taking a blue pill? You staying in this world, or are you willing to live like a homeless man, a million miles under the surface?
Does she have a white rabbit tattoo?
She won't, but maybe your friend did.
Okay.
I might actually have to get a white rabbit tattoo just
to fuck with people. You walk around there.
Follow white rabbit.
Man. My immediate answer to this would be I don't take drugs from strangers.
Damn it. That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to be a naysayer about the whole thing.
Okay, how about this? They're giving you licorice. You taking the blue licorice or the red licorice?
Yo, hear me out. Some stranger in a weird ass costume comes up with anything that you need to digest.
Oh,
and says,
and that you would take. Are you taking the red color one? Yeah. Like me, if they came up with red salsa or blue salsa on my tacos, what am I going to pick?
Well, yeah, but you're not at a restaurant. This is just up to you with like salsa being like, this will take you out of this world if you fucking eat this.
Yeah.
Like, what? Huh?
Yeah, like I'm just trying to dance. Like Britney's on.
We're at a club. Why do you have salsa?
To answer your question though, seriously answer your question, Nikki. I don't take drugs from strangers, but I don't know. I might just be a big wimp, but I would probably because I actually thought about this the other day while I was watching the first one. And I honestly would probably take the blue pill and just stay and not be red pilled and like be fine. But I bet you if like I was important enough, they'd be like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Take the fucking red pill. Let's go.
Yeah. What if you were La Una?
Yeah, La Una. Did you watch it on the Spanish channel?
No.
Um,
Okay, go on. And then I have one more question.
Okay,
it's kind of
but
a follow-up.
it's also funny because I made this joke in my head and see if you guys can run with this. So in the first one, they have, he presents him. I got to get my hands in the camera. He's like, you take the blue pill, you go to sleep, you wake up and believe what you want to believe. You take the red pill and I show you how far the rabbit hole goes. He's essentially saying you take NyQuil to go to sleep and you take DayQuil and you get to stay awake and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I think realistically in this scenario, as much as I want to live in a weird cave with a bunch of people who also hate their lives and are trying to get killed by robots, I could stay. Like, I love the Matrix aspect of it. We could just stay in the Matrix. I get the powers tight, but like the rest of it, like the whole porridge thing that they eat, like I don't know what that's about.
You
Like,
mean the essential vitamins and minerals?
Yeah, like what does that even taste like? Don't they say it in the movie?
Yeah, tasty wheat.
That's terrible. That's awful. Imagine eating tasty wheat for the next 30 years.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Like,
But then in a sense, you're just imagining eating everything else.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know.
True.
I could just take the blue pill and imagine whatever I want. That's not tasty.
Technically, it's not whatever you want, but you are in here.
What's your next question?
All right, so the follow-up one would be, since yes, we don't take pills from strangers, what would they have that would make you be like, okay, I'm listening?
Oh, okay.
Because I might have to go with tacos.
If we're talking about a stranger, like everyone's fucking dancing in the middle of the floor and they walked up with 2 tacos and take the blue taco or the red taco, and you're not questionable on why the fuck anyone's in the middle of the dance floor with 2 tacos. This is not even a restaurant. Like, they don't even sell food. How'd you get?
No, because in my head, I'm always like, I'm hungry. I want to get some. You just got me tacos? Like.
We knew what you wanted, Nikki.
Yeah.
Someone just came into the club with a Ziploc bag in their pocket that had tacos.
Like a weirdo on the airplane.
Bag. I hope I don't see where it comes from. I hope it's already plated. Maybe a little of the sliced radishes.
They have a Ziploc bag.
Are they smothered or not? Like
with tacos. The other pocket has a plate in it. That way, like, you get fooled. There was plating. They went to the bar, put it down. Someone's like, "Where the fuck did you get tacos?" Like, don't worry about it.
Don't
put it on.
Like, I'm not here for you. But the weird part is, like, why am I not questioning blue salsa? Like red, like, yeah. I mean, fucking red I've seen, but I've never seen blue salsa.
I could see a blue, like, taco shell. Because you could just make it with blue corn, and it's a blue corn taco shell.
I'm talking real tacos. Yes, it's got to be like the size of these.
Right. They say tiny tacos. They sell them across the street from our apartment all the time. There's a guy's like, taco.
It's like blue salsa taco, and then like a Doritos Locos taco. That's kind of rare.
And that is perfect though, because it totally would be like one of those blue corn tortilla tacos.
Yeah, probably.
To be honest, you used an example that I would actually have to struggle with if he showed up with black licorice and red licorice, and I'd be like, I like them both because I'm a psychopath and I'm 90, because most people don't like black licorice, as I've learned. But probably that I would probably be like, you look like a decent person. I can see everything. You leave very little to the imagination. Doesn't look like you're trying to hide anything. Considering you've been looking for me, you're looking for me specifically. Which brings me to another important question on this one. What would your 90s hacker name be?
Ooh. All right, hold on, Mickey. You got 3 answers to give.
Oh gosh, there's so much going on. Okay, wait, what are the questions again?
All right, first off, what would your red pill, blue pill be for you to be like, okay, I'm listening?
Okay, I think if they were unopened Mexican Cokes.
Hermetically sealed, unopened Mexican Cokes.
One's a Mexican Coke, one's a Mexican Pepsi.
Like, okay, then actually that kind of makes sense. I do like those, and I think if I knew it was unopened, maybe I would question it at this point. But like, I can't accept tacos from a stranger at a place they don't sell food at.
That is an amazing answer. I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Applause.
Yeah, I'm gonna, what was the second one?
He answered if he would take which pill he would take. So there's only 2 he needs to answer.
Oh, there was only 2. Why did I think that there was 3?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what would your 90s hacker name be?
Oh gosh. I don't know. You're gonna have to come back to me on this one. There are so many cool names.
Yeah. Hold on,
It sucks because I only go like I pick the first thing that comes to my head that won't leave. And unfortunately, it's Top Ramen.
Top Ramen. Oh my god.
Does that even make sense as a hacker name? But
no, but like I'd be like the top, like raw man.
Okay, but it would be all in that. It would be like raw, RAH, like big, and then like man, little.
I don't know why. I just
or like a 3.
Tickets.
That's it. We're kicking you out of the Matrix. Get the fuck out.
For some references for hacker names, here are some from the 1995 movie Hackers.
Okay.
Zero Cool, Acid Burn, Serial Killer, as in like Lucky Charms, The Phantom Freak with a PH instead of an F, and The Gibson.
That's guitar. What the fuck happened with that one?
Oh no, that was the name of the mineral company. Supercomputer. Oh, and Lord Nikon, because he has a photographic memory. We should talk about Hackers sometime because that movie. Holy shit, that movie. So you're raw, man. So you have to think about this though. So it's RAH big, and then it's M3N because that's your hacker name.
It would be a 3N. You know what? Since I already said it, I can't take it back. Like I'm already trying to think of like, and then the next thing that's popping in my face, and all I can see is fucking Rocket Raccoon laughing at me is Hatchet Face.
Your name's Taser Face.
Yeah, you're like the real life version of 303.
Hey, that's my area code. Calm down.
I think I would pick something Matrixy classic, like ampersand.
Okay.
Yeah, that would feel like a lot. See, a lot of people have that face, Nikki.
Yeah,
but like ampersand's just a little classy, and everyone uses it. Don't know you're using it.
Just I'm in the dark. Get your flashlight. Shine some light.
The little. How do you spell ampersand, by the way?
AMPERSAND. Ampersand.
You gotta say it, or else you don't win the spelling bee.
Oh yeah, AMPERSAND. Ampersand.
Like, I wish I used ampersand more. Do you use it very often, Nikki?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. You actually don't.
Yeah. I'm actually a question.
Come on, focus, fucker.
It's
It's the fucking and symbol.
Oh.
It's like and the key thing about ampersand is that like it's always there. You just didn't know it was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So you can make the S the actual symbol.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the A could be a number 4. Yeah,
That's an ampersand.
Don't feel bad.
So my hacker name actually exists in my world because I came up with it in 2001 when I went to high school. Not in honor of the Matrix or anything, but it was a stupid nickname that I got. It is, I am the headphone philosopher. So there's a story behind this, and it's fucking stupid. And
pretty cool.
So it's HEDPHONE and then philosopher, but I cut it. So it was the headphone philosoph, because a philosoph is a philosopher who's also a beatnik and a fucking weirdo and in high school. I wore my headphones every day in this hallway with a Discman because I hated people. And I took a intro to philosophy class in high school, and my teacher called me that once and it stuck. So yeah. So that would be mine. And I actually have like access to it. And I wanted to create something cool with it and like use it in things. And then I turned 20 and was like, that's a dumbass name.
But in the 30s, actually, I think that's a pretty cool name.
Well, thank you.
I dig it, actually.
You know what's funny is one of my favorite like names I've ever seen from people playing video games. And I feel like that kind of goes along with what we're saying.
Yeah.
Red Bar Warrior.
Ooh.
I thought that was funny because I'm like, fuck, my internet never works. Like, holy shit.
What if someone was just like error 404? That was that's their hacker name, because then they'd never know if the server was down or if you were hacked by error 404, because that's what that means. Lost connection to server, error 404.
That's a good one too.
Like I don't know, something having to do with that running T-Rex that you see.
Just running T-Rex.
Yeah, running T-Rex. So people are like, oh, I know exactly what that is.
Okay. So we have our hacker names. I feel like all the ships had weird names too. Like, I don't know. I can never remember. Is the Nebuchadnezzar from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Isn't that the name of his ship?
I think so.
But then you have like the Logos, which is an ethics term. And then the Hammer. Like, those are the only three ships you ever hear of in the entire thing. Because they don't talk about the ones that were destroyed by the guy who became Agent Smith in the real world. But like, how do you think they went through the naming convention of the ships? That one always never made sense to me.
Oh, I know this one for sure.
Oh, okay.
So much like my band, we all came up with names, and then we put those names into a hat, and then we pulled the name. This is actually how Rivals got its name.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, what a good pick, though.
Yeah, it's a great fucking name.
So, you know, the Hammer, the Nebuchadnezzar, the Logos. Yeah, that's how they got it, for sure.
Well, I remember I always hated the name the Nebuchadnezzar too.
Really, it's kind of fun to say.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Like, I was going to say Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Nebuchadnezzar is a biblical reference to Nebuchadnezzar II from the book of Daniel. So it's biblical. It's like biblical, like Morpheus, Trinity, Michael Bublé. It's also really hard to not see in Resurrections. It was really hard not to see Smith, his partner, his business partner, without thinking, then you'll see, now you're back, groveling over to me, because that's the dude who played King George in Hamilton.
I didn't watch it.
I watched that.
I did.
I mean, to be honest, you could have
Clearly.
said it was really hard to see, and you could put any second of that entire piece of shit, and you would have been correct still.
Nikki, did you say you didn't watch it either?
What?
A Hamilton?
Hamilton? No.
Wow. I'm gonna go.
My favorite part about that moment then is that you were singing that hopefully somebody would get it, and we were just watching you. Like,
Yeah. Like,
like no one. You're just like, this is
Yeah.
from what?
Warner needs to get better at not making bad movies, in Nikki's opinion, though. I mean, between Resurrections and Mortal Kombat, Warner's
what's up with
killing you.
these terrible? Like if you're gonna reboot a series, like why does it all have to be terrible? Joe Dirt, Zoolander, Bill and Ted.
You didn't like the new Bill and
Matrix?
Ted?
That new one that came
Yeah.
out. Mike.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Wait, they rebooted Zoolander?
Well, they did a sequel like fucking 10 years later. It
Is
was
that
terrible.
really? Wow. I didn't realize it was that far back.
Zoolander,
Yeah, the
Joe-
second one came out 15 years after.
Really? It was that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, good for him.
Fucking Ben Stiller.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much. You know.
So on the idea of Resurrections, I'm not sure if I love or hate the fact that Keanu Reeves has like gained his own look now. It's like this, like my hair's about this long and I have like I'm kind of dirty beard in it, and like society and everybody who's ever going to work with him from now on has just accepted that. They're just like, we don't want you to change anything about you. Just be the same character. Go. Just be John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm back. Just in every movie now.
Yeah, and in the Matrix, in Resurrections, it was just like be like a nervous version of you, but don't change you. Just keep doing your thing, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
was
about
good.
right.
Yeah.
Did you mention that they already took off Matrix off HBO already?
Yeah, so full disclosure, the reason why I was not able to finish it, I fully intended to finish it today. I just had to take a break and, do something fun, like play Horizon Zero Dawn or, sleep. I went to go back to watch it today and it had been taken off of HBO Max.
It's like HBO cleanup and its mistakes. It's like taking a nasty poop and it's stuck upon its ceramic walls and you got to wipe it off. That's what HBO did. Wiped off the crap that was Matrix Resurrections. Hopefully it was better the second time around.
It was so much better. Oh shit.
Exactly.
This was so bad that like I almost feel like if at one point in the movie fucking a Mortal Kombat character had broken in, I would be like, I expected this. Actually, this makes perfect sense.
You took my question. That was where I was just about to go. I was gonna say, do you think that Cole Young would find his way into the Matrix? And if he did, which side would he be on and how quickly would he die?
Cole Young would probably think he's a hero. That piece of shit thought he was. Would he die? I kind of pray every day. Not the actor that plays him. I don't wish, that's separate. I'm talking fictional character. Horrible death. Horrible, long, painful.
Going is that so Neo comes out of the Matrix, but then in the movie, Neo comes out of the Matrix, right? It's like an Inception, a double deep, right? And when he comes out, he's actually Cole Young.
Oh no.
The only way that this makes sense.
Oh no.
That's the only way why Resurrections would be so terrible. it kind of started having me thinking like Keanu Reeves, are you having financial problems? Are you kind of doing what Nick Cage is doing and just taking anything right now?
I can imagine they had the script and like, Keanu, you all right? Do you need anything? Like it's here. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it's really no choice. It was Bill and Ted for this, like, so here we are.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
true.
so we're gonna play the IMDb game again, just because I want to play this game again. So each film has gotten progressively lower totals throughout its history. What is the rating of the original Matrix, and what is the rating of Matrix Resurrections?
Ooh, I'm gonna say original Matrix an 8.7, and
Okay.
the newest one a 2.3.
Nikki, what's your guess?
Nice. Fuck. Mega, you were pretty much almost spot on to what I was going to say for one, but let me go for one, a 9.2. What'd you say for Resurrections?
2.3.
Fuck. Fuck. 2.2. You're pretty much spot on. Like,
Okay. So one of you is exactly right on the original. The original is 8.7 on the dot.
It just felt right,
well done.
Just to play up the game a little bit. Matrix Reloaded 7.2. Matrix Revolutions 6.8.
Okay.
Not much.
Resurrections is a 5.7.
What?
Way too much. Way too much.
5.7 with 4.7 thousand reviews. There are 1,000 one-star reviews and 400 10-star reviews.
This is why I know this generation is not going to amount to much.
To be fair, how many ratings altogether?
4.7 thousand.
Okay, so to be fair, 4.7 thousand people, that's all we know for sure, actually finished the movie.
44,760 reviews.
Yeah, and then after finishing the movie, decided that they should rate it. So that kind of like, how many people in the world could have watched this movie and actually finished it? And only that many people took the time.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, Michael, you cannot be one of these people. You didn't finish the movie.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and me and Nikki didn't even bother to make a rating. We just said 2.3. That's it. We just said it.
To be honest, I didn't finish the movie either.
Also, just
Why would I
from
finish a plate of garbage?
just from the time frame of watching the movie and like from what I got from it, they played up the pill portion of it in the first half an hour way too much. Like, homeboy is literally taking blue pills. Neil Patrick Harris's glasses are fucking blue. If you are blind, is the only way you didn't recognize that he was already stuck in some weird ass simulation. Like, unless you don't pay attention, they literally were like, "How obvious can we make this?"
Yeah. Well, that too. If you're watching The Matrix and not realizing he's in a sort of simulation, then maybe you should go watch another movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he put himself in the last movie. When this opens up, he's going to be in a simulation.
Can't believe it got what do you say, a 5 point something?
5.7.
God.
That's for calculus.
Yeah.
That's sorry. The reviews they were what did I say? 4.7 thousand reviews. Yeah. The rating is 171,000 people. And it's almost a perfect bell curve like you see in statistics. 8.5 on both sides for 1 in 10. 18.8% gave it a 6. So like 32,000 people gave it a 6.
How did they even get past 5?
Or 4 or 3?
Yeah, like I watched the whole movie. Like there was no even, in the nicest way, there were no parts even in it. If I had sliced this up, that were a 5. Let alone the whole thing. It was like if I took a bunch of shitty non-working parts and decided to make a car, and they were like, oh yeah, this is a great car. Like, no, it's just working. That's it. God.
It functions, but does it function well?
Yeah, like it can get me across the street, but that's as far as we're going with this.
Yeah. It's pretty much someone in a coma is this movie. Like you're breathing.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're it's
No,
not like
it's
you're
great.
contributing to society, you know? You're just,
Yeah. So okay,
I'll clean your poop for you.
but Nikki, I have to ask you, which one
No.
was worse, this or Mortal Kombat?
Oh.
I want to say this was worse. Mortal Kombat was just more of a disappointment.
Okay.
It was like my first and second born, you know, just fed them to the wolves. This one was just just terrible in every way.
Yeah, this
Like
was rough.
acting was bad. I mean, no offense to Neil Patrick Harris.
Correct.
He just didn't seem like a villain to me.
No.
But then, I mean, obviously it could have been director, the writing, you know, like I'm not going to blame the actor for it, but people just weren't menacing. It was just stupid.
Do you guys want to hear the best news about all of this?
Go on.
They
It's
aren't
gone.
planning.
I'm just kidding.
They aren't planning on doing any other ones. There's no plans to do any more. From producers, directors, and writers, they're all like, no, we don't think we'll do another one. I think a lot of people got their hands forced on this one, and I think Keanu didn't even really want to do it, if we're being honest.
That paycheck.
I think he kind of phoned it in.
They just CG'd him and he just did it all on the phone.
Well, have you guys seen the Unreal 5 engine Matrix like game that they put out on? So it's free to play on all, like, it's on Steam, it's on PS, it's on the PlayStation Network, it's on Xbox. But it's essentially just a tiny Matrix game that they made to show how the Unreal 5 engine works, and it is gorgeous. And I will tell you right now, that's the only good thing that came out of this reboot thing, or whatever the fuck this is.
You know, that kind of reminds me. Do you remember the original game that you could play online?
The Matrix Online? Yeah.
Like, I just remember there was that one scene, like the downstairs elevator scene that was like the most epic one. And like, I remember just playing it and not worrying about actually killing the guys, but just shooting the walls because I like watching them break. I was done. Yeah.
Did you ever play Path of Neo? So they took Niobe and Ghost and made a game where they essentially the mission is to find where Neo went. And there's parts of the game where you play as Neo, if I remember correctly, but it's like the shitty scenes from the movie, like move to the cubicle across the way. Okay, now stealth your way, like playing Siphon Filter, but with Neo. It was weird.
Good, I missed that game.
Look around like,
yeah, people were like, whoa, editing trick. It's amazing.
Yeah. What?
Okay, so we have a comment from our last episode. By the way, if you guys want to, please watch this on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 15 subs on our YouTube page, which is not a lot, but it's awesome that we have 15 people who care enough to watch this. So thank you. And we had someone who just joined the show and commented on our last episode. Joshua Bannister, thank you, Joshua, by the way, says, this is directed to you, Mickett, about your comments about not being excited to see Morbius. He says, Mickett, Leto was a god-awful Joker. Maybe you're subconsciously apprehensive to Morbius because of that. What do you think?
Maybe you're right. I can't argue with that. He was a really bad Joker. And like, I think I'm a little stained now from that. But I will still give the same argument that I give with most things, is he's kind of just a pretty person. And it makes me hard to believe what's going on when you're past the point of pretty, like
it's
so hard
to his eyes.
Watching a pretty person try to play a really vampire-y, ugly character. I guess we'll find out. That's all I can say, is that we'll find out, right? Like,
right.
Hopefully it's not the Joker. Yeah, hopefully that's all I can say about that, is hopefully it's just not the Joker. And hopefully he really does, he does Morbius good, because I loved Morbius in every part of the cartoon. I thought he was such a fantastic character, but I get nerfy vibes from him as an actor playing Morbius. But maybe I'm just not into the realistic idea of Morbius. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's one of those characters that should stay in a cartoon. We just leave it there, and he's always going to be gold.
Yeah, for real. Maybe that is it. We'll have to address this at another time. Maybe when Morbius comes out, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
and we'll get the full vibe and wrap back around to this. If you guys want to leave comments, maybe we can make this into a segment where we take a comment question from our comments page. Also, find us on Instagram at TWASWP, because I couldn't spell out the entire name. It wouldn't let me put the entire name on the because it's too long. It's too long to put on Instagram.
Wait, is W's in it, or is it just TWASP?
TWSWP, because this was a Star Wars podcast, because I didn't make Star Wars one word.
Wow.
I'm lame. I know. Whatever. But make sure you guys, all of our social medias are in the description below and in the description of the audio podcast. Also, if you guys are listening to the audio podcast, please rate and review on Spotify and on Apple. Also, wherever you guys listen, that helps us generate more listeners. We actually set a listener record for this one. We had 14 individual downloads on this last episode about No Way Home, which is awesome. The podcast is growing on the audio side, which I'm really excited about. Shout out to Spreaker.com for hooking us up with all of our statistics and information. Yeah. So now, all the shilling aside, gentlemen, thank you guys for another awesome hour of content. I will see you two next week, and the rest of you next week. And as always, I'm Michael.
I'm Top Ramen.
And I'm the Merovingian.
And this was a Star Wars podcast. We'll see you guys next week.